Hey everyone, this is Ben back with you in the Midwest Model Shop. Today we're going to have a short little episode where we cover Titanic's propellers. So I have 4 different examples of kits that you can get out there that we're going to go ahead and take a look at so that you can see how they look and what you might be, what yours might turn out looking like, I guess is the way to say it. So we'll go ahead and cover those examples. Then we're going to go ahead and have a short little discussion with Nora in the end concerning the hubbub around the center propeller, just so you guys can know what's going on right there. And other than that, that's it. Thank you to our Patreon contributors, especially our latest folks. We really do appreciate having you all on board. That's it. This is a short video. Let's get into it. Well, folks, here we go. This episode, we're going to take care of the propellers. And so I have 4 options in my possession. Starting off here, this is the Pontos provided props. They're done in a high gloss finish, and they've kind of gotten the buses done correctly with a little bit of detail on the bolts. It looks okay. I actually am pretty fortunate. My examples aren't pitted too badly, but a lot of folks have very highly pitted pieces of metal. There's little holes and chunks missing, and it's just something did not go particularly well. But they are metal. The thickness is not very bad, and I think they're totally usable. I don't like this shiny look, but you totally could use it and make it work if you wanted. If you have these, I'm certain you could sand it down, get rid of a little bit of this glossiness, and make something that looks a little bit different. And that kind of moves us on here to our next option. So this is from Props and Drops. This is from Gene Davis. He's on Facebook. Again, you got to go to the 1/200th Titanic sales only page. It's the same page where you buy the the 3D printed China 3D parts is, I believe, where you get these from. And he has a limited number of these runs done. They are in what's called an antique finish. I think it looks much more realistic. They've got a better, more realistic shape, and they've done a really good job in this casting of getting the nuts on the boss and hub here, and then with your blades. And of course you have your options for, if you want to do the 4-bladed prop, which we know is on the Olympic, and then the 3-bladed prop, which may have been on Titanic when it went out. We'll discuss all of that in a little bit. So if you want, these are your two, this is what I'm aware of as being the 2 metal options. All right, moving along into 3D resin print, here are the options from KA. So KA only will provide you with a 3-bladed center propeller. You do not get a 4-bladed one. For the large propeller, you get the boss or hub. This is a hub / boss. If you look in the book, they use both verbiage here. But anyway, it's printed individually, ready to go. And then you have your individually printed propeller blades, very nicely detailed, excellent detail on the nuts and bolts on the end, and then you just glue them on, make sure you get them going the right way, and you end up with a very sharp looking propeller. I will say this, I did have to drill out further the hole in the back to fit on the kit propeller shafts for the wing bosses, and you will have to do the same thing with all the other ones. The metal ones from Gene Davis, same thing, not deep enough. Same with the ones coming from Pontos. You're just not going to get away with that. You'll have to fix those yourself. But this is what my client has purchased, and we are going to be installing these for his build. He has opted to go with the 3-bladed propeller in the middle, which is great because I don't have a 4-bladed prop for him from the KA kit. All right, last one that's up here, we've got these guys. This is what comes with the kit. These are the kit supplied propellers. And I think that if this is all you have, it's fine. It will work. There's nothing wrong with it. Paint it up and it will look good. And it won't look as good as this, but it will work. Also, if you are RCing your model, maybe you'll just buy, I don't know how RCing would work. These are pretty thick, and I think you could get away with using them. You probably want to buy something a little bit better. So those are the options. Neil from Woody's Model Works has toyed with 3D printing these so that you could get them from him a la carte, but he doesn't really see the demand, and he's had some trouble with the thickness of the blades coming out the way that he wanted. So yeah, now it's possible as Shapeways. I think you could get some from Shapeways. I don't have those. I don't need them. I have enough propellers here for the 2 ships. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to go with these. This is my client's. I'm going to go ahead and glue up and put the other hub together, and then we're going to go ahead and get it painted up in primer and move on to the next process. Press it on. All right, time for paint. So I've mentioned this product before. This is AK True Metal, and it is a new product by AK. It is a wax-based paint, and in this example I've got AK 460 brass, because I think brass colored propellers are going to be the best. I believe what I am holding here is about 3 generations, lifetime person generations worth of paint. If you keep the cap on, it doesn't dry out. And that's, I'm not exaggerating. This stuff, a tiny little bit goes an insane amount of distance. So here is our propeller. It's all primed up. This is actually the right color red that we used on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead here and just take a tiny little dollop here just as an example. Let's see here. Let's get the brush primed up. We're going to put that much paint on my brush. All right. And let's just start. We'll just start painting. So here's the deal. With wax-based paint, when you put it on like this with this stuff, you can see the brush strokes, and that brush stroke will remain there as long as you leave it there. So what I mean by that is you could basically buff the paint out as you go. And the idea with this stuff is that it should end up looking like real metal when you're done, especially if you buff it right. So that's my first little dollop. I got that much done. I'm going to grab a little more here, and we'll proceed on our way. So what I'm doing, like I said, just apply it, brush it, give it a second, and you can see the paint, you're pushing it around. Let's see if I bring it in here. See how there's a little build up right there, and you can move that around with a brush to get what you want. And it dries fairly quickly to the touch, no troubles. And you're going to end up with something that looks like actual metal. That's why I'm using this. So this is brass colored. I'm going to go ahead and get these hubs done, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's take a little comparison look here though. So this is brass. This is real brass that I showed you earlier before, and as you can see, it's much redder. I think there's a lot more copper in the metal that was used here to make this piece, to cast it, and that's fine. Once this propeller hub has that same red on there, I mean, it's going to look stellar. There's not going to be any big difference. But hopefully what you can see here is that this is real metal. It's slightly brushed, and this paint, hopefully to you, looks like real metal also. I know it does to me when it's all said and done. Yeah, so that's the product that I'm using. So let me go ahead and finish painting these up, and I'll come back and show you what the propellers look like. Okay, here we are back. There's the props all done up and ready to go with the brass. I think that they turned out wonderful, and I think the detail looks good. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and install them on the back of the ship, and while I do that, I'm going to just keep the camera rolling, let you guys watch, and Nora and I are going to go ahead and have a little conversation about the center prop, which she does and doesn't know a whole lot about. Alright, here we go, pressing on. So wife, here is the propellers on the back of the ship.
They look fabulous.
Nice, right?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. see how the center propeller has 3 blades?
Yes.
All right, that was never ever the case. Everyone has always said for forever that Titanic has 4 propellers on the middle blade. They're four props, not 3. And then and as you can see right there, we just put in 3. And the reason is this photograph. So how many blades are on that propeller?
What is that actually a picture of?
That's a good question, isn't it? Aha. So this is the Olympic sister ship to Titanic. And as you can see, it has 4 blades on the center propeller.
Okay.
But we put a 3-bladed one on the client's ship. Now, the reason we put 3-bladed on...
Did he want 3 blades?
He did. He did. That's exactly why we put it on. Customer gets what they want.
That's right.
But as you can see from these big photographs of the Olympic, it was a 4-bladed one. So what happened...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they're really big. So every painting that's ever been done of the Titanic has shown 4 blades because of these pictures. So it's always been assumed that there's 4 blades. Up until...
You know what happens when you assume things, right?
Mm-hmm. I do know. In 2000, I think it's 7 here. I'm going to get it wrong. So this guy, Stephen, how would you say it? Pigot or Pigot?
Pigot.
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 So he came across these Harlan and Wolff engineering notebooks concerning Titanic's propeller configuration, and basically the notebook argues that they were going to experiment with 3-bladed propellers in the middle and then put a 4-bladed on if it worked out better.
Okay.
And the problem is no one's ever seen this. We don't know. The picture's of Olympic, it's not of Titanic. So we don't know what went on the middle of the ship.
Wow.
And so originally I had heard some things saying that, okay, the reason for this is there's better balance with a 4-bladed propeller. It spins a little bit slower, moves air, or more water, and you'd be fine. But this actually, the article proves that the area of each of the 3 blades was greater than the area of the 4-blade. And so in fact it could move more. And they expected the Titanic to move faster. Now something went on with, there's a whole bunch of talk about the pitch of the outboard propellers and how much water they could move, and they expected Titanic to be faster than Olympic, and then they changed things. Yeah, right, that didn't help them.
They expected a lot of things.
They expected a lot of things.
There was one thing they didn't expect.
No, that silly little iceberg. So, yeah, so basically, all of a sudden, here we are. We have the option for a 3-bladed center propeller, and these notebooks. That was the other thing I was going to try and find here. These notebooks only exist in one place. They don't know how long they've been kind of hiding, I guess you could say. This is like a recent discovery. So as a result, in the kit, you get the option for the 4 blades. Pontos gives you the option for the 4 blades. And if you go with KA, they only give you the option for the 3-bladed propeller. They're all in on the 3-bladed propeller.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's the controversy there. So, some people are like, well, I put 3-blade on, other people put 4.
So I have a proposal.
What is it?
I propose that we put all of this on hold.
Whole thing.
And apply for a grant to get one of those little bubble submarine thingies.
I like bubble submarine thingies.
Just go down there and find out for ourselves.
That's what I thought too.
Enough's enough.
I think, and genuinely, you joke a little bit. I don't understand why some wealthy person, because people go to the Titanic all the time now. Why doesn't someone go down there with one of those deals that will blow mud?
All the time? You make it sound like a Disney
it's
ride.
Like a Tuesday
you just
thing.
get in line.
You just go. It's not a big deal. Why can't they go down there with the thing that blows the mud away and go down by... You don't even have to blow all the mud away. You don't have to expose the entire propeller.
Because
you
the
just
people
blow
that are
enough
going...
away to say, here's one blade, and if there was 4, we'd see another one
because
already.
The people that are going are probably treasure hunters. They're not looking at the propellers. They're looking to see what kind of trinkets and jewels they can find.
Well, I
bring back to put in goofy museums like in Tennessee.
Well, I think that it is a treasure to know how many blades.
We should absolutely know. I
So.
agree. That's why I made my proposal. My other proposal, I have 2 proposals.
What's that?
The other one is a podcast. This is fun.
You like this? All right, so.
You know what? I do want to take a second to thank one of our Patreons and dedicate this segment to him. Gary Brown, you are appreciated. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Gary. We do appreciate you. And for those of you interested in joining Patreon, where we do put top secret behind the scenes stuff up, it's just www.patreon.com/the Midwest Model Shop. All right, let's wrap up the video. All right, folks, one last look here for the day. I'm happy with how our propellers turned out. Once again, my client picked out the 3-bladed center prop, and that is the only one you get from K as an option anyway. Rest of the ship is looking fantastic so far. You can see it's all starting to come together here, and we are underway with working on the back here. We got our cranes going together, we got some stairs, and then we're going to go ahead and work on the whole deck back here, and then we're going to have to start getting serious about rigging it up. But anyway, yeah, she's got gray lines, ship's looking good, propellers look good. Thanks for liking, subscribing, we appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye. Red leather, yellow leather.
Let's say it. Red leather, yellow leather.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
I don't do Peter.
3. And the reason is, get to it here.
Few technical issues here. Technical difficulties.